So let's talk about the sales game today. And that all starts with mastering relationships. So, in the world of pharmacy, you want to be able to master relationships because that's what sales is. Sales is a relationship business. So, I'm really excited about today's training. We're going to talk about something that directly affects your pharmacy income. It affects your confidence and your long-term success, and that is sales. And it's funny because I was at Eddie V's the other day. I have this like old man that comes in with his wife, and they're regulars. They tip very well. They're great. They're a great couple. He's a really grouchy guy, but I have patience for him. And you know, anyway, he proceeds to tell me about like his nephew and his nieces. And he's like, my niece had the opportunity to be with a doctor, a lawyer, and a salesman, and she picked the salesman. And he was like mad about it. I was like, well, wasn't that the best choice out of the three? He's like, well, it ended up working out. And I think sales really is the highest form of like income that like I think it's the highest paid career is sales if you master it and if you get good at it. There's no income cap when you step into the world of sales, but you also have to master your sales skill set. So I want to talk about sales, but not sales the way that most people think about it, because none of us, like, as much as I say I like to be sold, I also don't like to walk into Aritzia and be confronted by the girl in Aritzia that wants to show me outfits. And, I like to be sold when I choose to be sold to. I don't like walking into the clothing store, and I don't like when they come up to me. I don't like when they ask me if I need help. I'm just like, no, I'm okay, thanks. And I walk away. But sales, the way that most people think about it, they think that it's pushy, they think that it's scammy. So we're not going to focus on being pushy. We're not going to focus on being spammy with links and not begging people to join your business. Today, I want to talk about the sales game and how it's actually about relationships. It's about psychology. It's about human connection, especially in pharmacy. So, this training, again, is inspired by this podcast that I listened to with Eric Worre and Daniel G. I'll send it to you girls in our like mindset group in our WhatsApp community. But they reminded me that, this business is built on trust first, not transactions first. So before we go any further into the training, I just want to normalize something. If you've ever hesitated to send a message, if you've ever wondered how many times is too many times to invite someone to a Zoom call, how many of you have ever felt that way? Like, oh my gosh, I invited this person to three Zoom calls. Like, I can't invite them to another one. Like, I don't know if they're like, I don't want to annoy them. Or if you ever thought, I don't want to sound salesy about pharmacy, maybe drop a one in the chat if you feel like that. If you hesitate to send a reach out message or a follow up message, if you think, I've messaged this person too many times, I sent them too many Zoom recordings, or if you just Sophia point five, um, or if you just don't want to sound salesy, this is a training for you. Okay. I I want you guys to really think about how many times Fashion Nova has texted you. We use this as an example all the time, but you have to treat your business as if this is your professional career, if you want it to become your professional career. Like, how would someone in, I don't know, Lululemon or Fabletics. I actually just became a Fabletics VIP member. I get a Fabletics text message every single day. Fabletics isn't wondering, oh, we texted our VIP too many times. Daniel G, if you guys follow him, this man sends me Zoom links for the last 7 years. And sometimes I respond, sometimes I don't, but for 7 years, this man has sent me probably hundreds of Zoom links. And I've watched this man grow to be one of the top trainers in sales. So this training is going to be for you, and we're going to get you comfortable with all of those things. So let's redefine sales in pharmacy. Sales is not about persuasion, it's about understanding people. So that means you're not convincing someone to buy a product. You're helping them solve a problem that they already have. A lot of the time on my one-on-ones or when I'm talking with my girls trying to help them with recruitment and ask them, who have you been talking to? A lot of the time the response is, I'm still trying to convince them to get started. I haven't convinced them yet. And this isn't about convincing, it's about understanding what they need and offering a solution to a problem that they already have. So you're not convincing someone to become a BI. You're helping them see how pharmacy could fit into their life, into their schedule, and their goals. So think about how most of us joined. We didn't wake up wanting to join a business, most of us. We didn't wake up wanting to, I want to be a pharmacy beauty influencer. We wanted either better skin, better hair, better makeup, an extra income, or community. People don't join pharmacy simply for a compensation plan. They join because they trust you. So from this moment forward, I want us to stop asking, how do I get them to sign up? And start asking yourself, how do I understand what they actually need? How do I understand what they actually need? Because a lot of the time we're like, how do I get them to sign up? How do I get a new BI? And it's I. You're wondering what yourself needs, like what you need to do when you need to understand what they need. You need to get to know them more. So, having this sales game mindset. Sales is a game of skill. It's not about emotion. And a lot of us get emotions attached to it. That's why a lot of people quit. That's why a lot of people say it's not for them because they get emotionally like cut when someone says no, like their ego gets like torn down, or like they just can't handle rejection, or they just take it to an emotional level. So sales is a game of skill, not emotion. And this is important in pharmacy because people will watch your stories. They will sit on your product link that you sent them 4 times over the last 2 months. They will attend a Zoom info call and still not enroll right away. But that does not mean that you failed. It means that they're processing. So I want to give you all confidence. If you're in that space where someone is sitting on your product link, if someone that you've talked to is still watching your stories but hasn't responded back to you, if you have a potential that hopped on the last info call but didn't sign up right away, you are doing the right thing in the sales game. So, we're going to talk about sales mastery, mastering sales. Mastering sales in pharmacy, it doesn't mean that you spiral when someone doesn't order after you share a hot list. Someone doesn't enroll after a Zoom. Someone says, I need to think about it. I need to ask my husband. People aren't rejecting you and they're not rejecting pharmacy. They're just protecting themselves. So your job is to stay calm, consistent, and relational. Don't get emotional. Your prospects and your potentials can tell when you get emotional if they don't sign up right away or if you get desperate at the end of the month. They can feel it. And people join people that are confident. People join people that know where they're going. People join people that are professional, right? So you don't want to get emotional. Your job is to stay calm, consistent, and relational. So if you're taking notes, drop a 3 in the chat. I hope everyone drops a 3. All right, this is a good note-taking part. I'm gonna teach you guys the 3 states of a pharmacy prospect. So they shared 3 states of a prospect in this episode. It's a great framework. And every pharmacy prospect is going to be in one of these 3 states. So your job is not to rush them. Your job is to recognize their state. And when you fill up your funnel, right? A lot of the time we get stuck on three prospects. And I'm talking to three people. They have to sign up by the end of the month. Not everyone is going to sign up by the end of the month, but if you're filling your funnel with 20, 30, 40, 50 conversations, eventually at least three are going to drop out of that funnel, drip out of that funnel every single month. I want you to think about putting a jar of honey in a funnel. All of the honey doesn't flow out as soon as you pour it in the funnel. It drips out very slowly. And the same goes with your prospects and with your potentials. And a lot of the time, we expect our prospects to fall out of the funnel like water. But if you fill your funnel full enough, one, two, three drips are going to start to come out. So your first 90 days of really filling up your funnel, you might not feel like anything's happening, but eventually you're going to have talked to so many people. And if you follow the IPAs that we did yesterday, those people are going to watch you and you're going to be able to start selling to your prospects. Okay. So the first state of the three states of a pharmacy prospect, state number one, they're curious. So the first state of a prospect is that they're curious. So these people are watching your stories. They're asking, what are you using? What is that glow drink? What is that aloe glow? What is that mascara? Maybe they're commenting on your skin. They're commenting on your lashes. They click your pharmacy link. With curious people, your role is to educate them, share real product experiences, and invite them, not push them, invite them. For example, sharing an info call. Hey, I know we were talking about this. I think you'd be so good at what I do. I'm hosting a Zoom call where we explain everything. If I send it over, will you be able to watch it? Right? That is your invite. So you want to be inviting the people that are curious. The second state is state number two, they're cautious. So these are people who like the products. Maybe you have customers that they like the products. You've been trying to get them to be a beauty influencer, but they still order and use the products for full price. And you've told them about everything. They still don't want to upgrade yet, but they're interested in extra income, but they hesitate, maybe because of time, money, past MLM experiences. And your role here with people that are in the second state is reassurance. So, for example, telling them, this makes total sense. Can I show you how most of us started part-time? I totally understand. Here's my friend Kat. She was in a previous network marketing company. A lot of the time I'll get people that say, I joined network marketing in the past. I wasn't very successful, and I'll find another story of a girl who wasn't successful in the past company, but they're successful here. And I'll share the link, I'll share their results, and I'll give them reassurance of, their story and that they can succeed here. I had a customer text me about postpartum hair loss and wanting to purchase more products and being hesitant in purchasing the product. So I sent her before and afters of another mom who went through postpartum and had good before and afters, and I reassured her that these products are working for this mom who struggled with postpartum. These are the products that she used, and then she purchased more products. So you know this is where before and afters are very powerful for customers that are hesitant, and where our info calls are very powerful for people that still, are thinking about joining the business that you've spoken to. You got on a one-on-one call, but you invite them to me and Adriana's call, and they get to hear our story and they get the third party validation, and letting the third party validation do the work. State number three is resistant. So these are people who have strong opinions. They're probably sending you paragraphs. They've been burnt, or they're just not open right now. And your role with these people is not convincing. Your role is planting seeds and keeping the relationship intact. This is very important because a lot of people, when you get these strong opinions, when you get the long, like, it's a scam, I will never do anything like that again, you just close them off and you don't even continue the relationship, which is why they were burned in the first place. So, you don't sell to resistant people. You show up consistently until that curiosity replaces resistance, right? So, with those people that are super resistant, when I see content that reminds me of them, I'll DM it to them. And I'll be like, I know you weren't ready right now, but this just reminded me of you. Or I'll talk to them about other things on their story that have nothing to do with pharmacy, and I'll build a friendship, a genuine friendship and a genuine relationship. So with resistant people, you don't sell them, you just show up consistently until curiosity replaces the resistance, right? So the three states of a prospect. Number one is curious. They're curious. Number two, they're cautious. And number three, they're resistant. So you need to understand those three states. And with curious people, your role is to educate, share product experiences, and invite. With cautious people, your role is to reassure them. And with resistant people, you don't sell them, you show up consistently until that curiosity replaces resistance. So we're gonna go into, does anyone have questions about the three states? Thanks, Sophia. Ashley said, I had someone text me about my aloe and L-carnitine this morning saying, I've been seeing you post this often and I want to see more results. Send them my reel, friend. So good. You never know who's watching. So we're going to talk about prospecting fast and selling slow. So this is where most beauty influencers get stuck. Prospecting is fast and selling is slow. And a lot of people want the selling to be fast. You want people to watch your story, see your before and after, message you, click your link and spend $250. Spend $125. But prospecting, let's go over the difference. Prospecting is posting product use, sharing testimonial and transformational stories, inviting to Zoom info calls, inviting to three-way calls, starting conversations daily. This is prospecting. Selling is going to be slower. So you're answering DMs, you're following up after Zoom calls, you send value-based stories. You check in after, someone tries the products. And if someone doesn't sign up after one Zoom, that's normal. If they need 4 to 6 exposures, like what we talked about yesterday, that's normal. The mistake most people make is that they quit the conversation too early. I have conversations for years, you guys, because I know my long-term vision. I know I'm working towards boss director, and I know that doesn't happen overnight. Like maybe if I was Gabby Espino and had, millions of followers and was a previous actress, but like I know that's not me, but I still know that if I keep doing the small things over and over again, I will get extraordinary results. So I'm not emotional if someone doesn't say yes right away. I'm patient and I've seen it before. Patience gets rewarded very well in this industry. Patience plus consistency. You have to have the consistency with it. So the mistake most people make is that they quit the conversation too early. Um, so think about the people that you talked to 6 months ago or even last year. Do you still have a connection with them? Are you still networking with them? Are you still watching their stories? When was the last time you interacted with the person you reached out to last year if they didn't sign up yet? The mistake is quitting the conversation too early. So you should have either an Excel spreadsheet, an Instagram saved album, a note in your phone of the people that you talk to about the business that have not signed up yet, so that it's easy for you to engage with these people over time. So that you stay in their like peripheral, so that you still have their attention because their attention is your currency. So a good way to reach out from someone you talked to a year ago and maybe you haven't kept in contact, I would say, hey Carly, you totally came to mind. I don't know how you got lost in my feed. I was thinking about you and noticed I haven't seen you on my page lately. How are you? And then they're going to tell you how they've been and they're going to ask you how are you. And Sophia, in your case, I would say I've been doing so well. I actually just reached the director level in pharmacy and I was just thinking about how far we would go together if you got started when I first reached out to you. I wanted to see if you had given it any more thought. I think you'd be so good at this. Like, it's even better when it's been so long and you've been consistent and you've seen results, and then they can go to your page and see all of these results that you've had over time, right? So that's something that I would say to them. So like and whenever a prospect comes to my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to reach back out to that person. I have not engaged with them in a while. I'll just do it right away in that moment because it takes like less than a minute to find that person's Instagram and be like, oh my gosh, girl, I was on a call today and my mentor said something and you came to mind. How are you doing? I can't believe we haven't gotten started with this yet. Or like just asking them how they're doing. How was your Happy New Year? How was your holiday season? Like just bring your presence back into their life. Make yourself relevant on their feed again. So the mistake most people make is that they quit the conversation too early. So we want to have a follow-up that feels good, not salesy, right? So what I just shared with you guys, do you guys feel like that's something like you would say in real life? Like it's not salesy. It's professionalism and people are gonna be like, you thought about me? And of course you thought about them or you wouldn't have DM'd them. So they're gonna be like, wow, Kat is still thinking about me. It's been 6 months, it's been a year, it's been 3 months, it's been a week, it's been 2 weeks. She's still thinking about me. I signed up because the girl messaged me that signed me up 7 times over 2 months. And in that 2 month period, I was just like, wow, this girl's still thinking about me. So people are flattered when you are still thinking about doing business with them, and it gives them confidence that they might be good at doing business with you. What do you say when you don't have results yet? I would use the community. And you have to ha like even if it's not a financial gain, I think Rosa, you're here because you've received some kind of gain over the time you've been here, even if it's not financial, whether it's the skill sets that you learned. When I first signed up and I didn't have like I was making $25 paychecks, I felt like I still got what I paid for because of the training. And I would promote the social media trainings that we get. I would promote school. I would like share with people, this is more than what I'm learning in my ad PR class at the University of Central Florida, and I'm able to apply it and earn money. So there's more than financial gain and more than the brand trips. You can share the community, you can share the trainings, you can share the skill sets, um, and follow up with them about that. So following up that feels good. Let's normalize this. Most signups happen after multiple exposures. So when I reach out to someone, I'm reaching out and expecting them to tell me no. So when I'm doing my reach outs and I'm working on people that I have never talked to before, in my head, I'm already mentally ready for all these people to reject me. And then when I get the person that's like, yeah, tell me more, I'm like, oh, cool. So I go into it expecting to be rejected. And a lot of us go into it expecting all 50 people we've reached out to tell us yes. So it's about getting the exposure out there, like putting yourself in your relevance in their view, right? And knowing that I'm going to show up so much. I'm going to share such great results. I'm going to share such great testimonies that these people are going to ask me about what I'm doing, and their life's going to change because I reached out to them. So having that confidence and having that mindset when you're reaching out to people, knowing you have the prize, you have something to offer, you have something that they can gain if they say yes to you, and they're lucky that you reached out to them. So when you're thinking from that mindset, you're not wondering, like you're not feeling bad Like, I'm not gonna feel bad that I'm offering someone an opportunity to make 50% commission. Like, if they run with this and take it all the way through, their whole life's gonna change. So I don't feel bad. I never feel like I'm bothering anyone. I feel like I'm adding value to people. So when you switch your mindset to that, you are gonna be so much better at sales that you're not being salesy, you are being a life changer, right? So following up that feels good. Following up isn't annoying when you're doing it right. So a bad follow-up is, hey, did you decide? Hey, did you get to like click the link? Hey, just checking in. A good follow-up is, hey, Carly, I know we talked about, your skincare, and I thought of you when I used the resurface line today. No pressure, but I'd love to make a new link for you that fits your budget if you're looking for to spend a different amount of money. I know you would love these products. Or, hey, Alma, I thought about you today when I washed my hair. I used the reviving line and I thought about, the conversation that we had. We have a free shipping promotion today. Do you want me to build a new cart for you? So following up means that you're staying present and not repeating the same pitch over and over again. So if you truly believe in these products and this business, then following up is love. It isn't pressure. Alma said sold. Like people are gonna be like, "Well, you thought about me in the shower? You thought about me while you were washing your face?" So like get personal with it. Like let that like remind them of the conversation that you had with them so they don't think it's just this like copy and paste with every single person that you're talking to. And I copy and paste things, but I'll go in and I'll personalize it to the previous conversation that we had. Okay. So you want to focus on relationships over signups. So, are you chasing signups or are you building people? Because pharmacy isn't built on one-time product orders. Your network marketing business isn't built on a one-time product order. Excuse me, it's going to be built on loyal customers, developed beauty influencers that you take your time with, that you are patient with, real relationships, and the people who stay are going to be the people who feel seen, who feel supported, who feel understood. And when you focus on people first, pharmacy is going to take care of the rest. We have the perfect vehicle. We have the perfect compensation plan. We have amazing products. So when you focus on people first and personalize the experience, pharmacy does everything else. So we live in a time where people want community right now more than ever. So this is why our power sessions matter every single week. Our info calls matter. I would love to see more of you collaborating and doing info calls for Her Society. Um, Group chats matter. Like that's our like hub, right? So like saying good morning, sharing your thoughts, like if you get a customer, share how you got a customer in the group chat. Your people are watching, your future team is gonna see that. We're gonna get to screenshot it, and the more we all do it, one rising tide will lift all ships. So high tech, high touch, products open the door, but relationships will keep people here. So let's close with this. Sales mastery in pharmacy, it's not about becoming someone you're not. It's about becoming more intentional with how you serve people. So I want us all this week to focus on just having 10 genuine conversations, inviting 1 to 2 people to like a Zoom info call. Maybe we need to schedule one of those. I'll figure that out. Or if someone wants to host one, please. Um, and then having, consistent product sharing. I really want us to make that our focus for January, consistently sharing products. And then having, a thoughtful follow-up. So your job is not to force a yes. Your job is to build trust so people can make their own decision confidently. If you master relationships, your pharmacy business, it's always going to grow. All right, so I love you guys. I hope that this was short and sweet, but I wanted to just add value into a short amount of time.